Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Today we are discussing a 42mm stainless steel limited edition of 1,500 pieces that came out at SIHH 2010. The second generation of the Jaeger-LeCoultre Navy SEALs themed watches. This is the Master Compressor Diving Automatic Navy SEALs. The original watches were quite a bit larger, and JLC claimed that the Navy SEALs were the ones who asked for this smaller 42mm watch. Whether it is just a wonderful story or true, I like the fact that they sized down. The watch feels more modern, and it's definitely more wearable as a result. So, of course, you've got a watch that's 42mm in diameter by only 13mm thick by 50.1mm from lug to lug, and if you include the end links of the bracelet, is 52.8mm across the wrist with a 22mm spacing between the lugs. There are a couple of different versions of this limited edition of 1500. The one to get is the full vulcanized rubber-coated bracelet, and that is the watch we have here. On my 16cm circumference wrist, it wears easily and comfortably. It's flat enough that you probably could fit it underneath a dress cuff. It's not that much thicker than a sub or a GMT, and I would recommend it for a wrist as small as 14, maybe even 13.5cm circumference. The timepiece does include that wonderfully deluxe bracelet. Now, a lot goes on here. You could see that the bracelet is steel, but then it's rubber wrapped, and in my experience, these rubber sheaths hold up really well. You can also see that the removable links are fixed by screws, and every single link is removable. The clasp is a double deployant with 4 triggers, so it's gonna stay shut. You have to depress all 4 triggers to open up both sides. And then there is a easy link-like quick adjustment system built in, 2.5mm of in and out adjustment, so 5mm total. You have 1 micro adjust on each side for fine-tuning the fit. Now, rolling back to the case, it's simple and strong. The lugs are broken out from the case band, and there's perpendicular satin finishing, which I like. Vertical satin finishing on the lugs and then horizontal on the case band. You can see that there's a little bit of an expanding bevel on the edge of the case, so you have a little bit of high polish contrast. The watch includes a compressor crown. This was the system JLC invented to replace threaded water-resistant crowns. The idea is 1/2 turn unlocks, red you're dead, white you're tight. It's color-coded. The watch is 300 meters water-resistant. JLC is one of the first companies to ever write the correct conversion between meters and feet on the dial of the watch. Normally, that reads 300 meters, 1,000 feet on every other watch in the industry. The crown is rubber-coated as well. Once you make a half turn of the compressor crown, you can wind the watch, you can set the watch, you can operate the quick set, you can activate the hacking seconds, and you can see that the watch is designed with minimal glare in mind, as there's very little bright work. There's just the bevel on the edge of the lugs, and then you can see outboard. The outboard knurling of the bezel is also polished. It is a 60-click bezel with a nice chunky detent. As you can see, there is a ceramic insert. It gives you plenty of scratch resistance. Along with the sapphire crystal, it acts as a heat shield for the metal of the case. The dial features a slightly sloped ray outboard against which you can read minutes, seconds, and fractions of seconds. You can see that there are raised indices and tri-Arabic numerals using a font and a style pioneered by the 1968 Polaris diving alarms. There's a little nod to JLC's oceanic history. You'll also appreciate that the dial base is very, very matted, so highly anti-reflective. And then there's actually a little bit of a tiered window, trapezoidal, and then there's a step down to the date disc. So that is a surprisingly ornate and thoughtfully designed dial detail, designed to laterally balance out the dial so the 9 counterweights this exaggerated trapezoidal frame. The watch, of course, is well loomed. We're going to do a loom shot now. And you can see there is no shortage of loom, and that the bezel pearl is quite large and easy to use. So you can line up that bezel pearl with the minute hand, and now you've got an impromptu countdown, or I should say count up, as this is a count up bezel. And diving bezel notwithstanding, you have a case back that is individually engraved, and you can just see it right here. This is number 1500 of 1500. So this was the last physical unit made in the series. On the case back, you can see the Navy SEALs warfare pin. It's the eagle over a trident, over an anchor with a gun. That basically just asked, what's the most badass combination of things we can think of? How about an eagle with an anchor with a trident and a gun? Yeah, let's do that. Inside, the watch also has the right stuff. Uses a JLC caliber 899 unidirectional automatic winding with ceramic bearings, free sprung for shock resistance. The automatic winder energizes 43 hours of power reserve. Of course, you have the quick set date as well as the hacking seconds. And it does have that master 1000 hours control, which you'll note is blazoned on the case back. That is a 1,000 hour test of chronometry, shock resistance, water resistance, winding efficiency, and power reserve. Remember, 1,000 hours. The COSC test is the bare movement, not the full watch, and the COSC is just 2 weeks. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.